Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to go over a few things today. I've been super busy at work, that's why I haven't made a video in a while. In fact, I haven't even worked on anything in a while. I did manage to get some time to go pick up this little Vermeer. I believe it's a TC24. Yeah, it's a little vibratory sheep's foot trench roller, and it's got a big old single cylinder Deutz diesel in it. Deutz diesel, however you pronounce that. The starter solenoid, of course. Going through that again with a rash of starters. I'm gonna see if I can just get online and order a solenoid for it. I'm gonna verify the starter motor turns though first. But it does have a hand crank start. There's a little snout that actually goes over that thing and protects it, but I took it off so I could see what I had to get in there to turn it, which you can also turn it over with this. That just has like a gear reduction, I guess, to spin it faster. I was told that it ran, the diesel engine worked, it was just having a problem with the steering, and the steering works like a skid steer. So the front and rear drum are split in half, and those two on that side are controlled with one lever, and these two on this side are controlled with another, which the two levers are broke off that run these two valves. And I'm assuming this is forward, neutral, and reverse. It's got a high and a low range. There's your kill switch, your throttle, but I don't know what does the vibration. If it's just always vibrating, surely not. I would think you could just drive it without it. That may be the, well, I don't know. Depends on how these work. That should technically be forward and reverse for this one, forward and reverse for this one. But I don't know why the vibration would need 3 positions. Unless there's a fast and a slow on the vibrate, maybe. I don't know. We'll pill around with that, but first, like everything, I've got to do a bunch of other work just to get to the problem that the guy said it originally was. For starters, the fuel tank, the fuel neck is broke and cracked. Now this thing was in a building, but it was in an old wooden building that had no roof. So the fuel tank's full of water, and the water comes all the way down to the injection pump. So now I got to pull all that off and make sure nothing's rusted and gonna break when I go to start this thing, or cause it to run away and throw a rod through the side of the engine block. But it is an air-cooled engine, and it's probably half the weight of this thing. No, it's probably not. Between the drums, these planetaries, and hydraulic motors, it's probably still a pretty heavy engine though. But anyways, this little project, and this is one of the reasons I don't like getting farm tractors unless I can get them dirt cheap or free, or if there's something really unique, which kind of this is. You don't see these every day. I only got it because 2 reasons. It was a wide front end, and it is a small, simple tractor. But with the valve being broke off in it, the rest of the valves are pretty well corroded. I don't know if you probably can't even see that, but they're really, I mean, it needs a lot. And with what I do, this really wouldn't be worth, I mean, I couldn't get what I'd have in it fixing it up. Even if I didn't paint it, if I just took the engine out, had the machine work done, got it running tip-top shape, I probably still couldn't sell this thing and come out, you know, ahead on it. I didn't give a whole lot for it, but it's just not worth a lot. Unless you find that one guy that, you know, needs this thing. And then I still have the problem with the PTO locked up. I mean, it could be something broken in there, just completely rusted together. So probably what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the motor out, and try to get that little Kubota in it. I'll see what it's going to take to make an adapter for that flywheel to adapt to the flywheel on this engine, excuse me, and get it going. I did get from the same guy that I got this Vermeer from. I got 3 of these little plate compactors. All 3 of them are what you can buy at Northern Tool for about $700-800, and they all 3 had the little powerhouse 7-horse engines on them. I have obviously several of these engines. If you watch my other videos, I have the one that's on the alternator welder, which I'm probably going to go ahead and take back off and put on one of these so that I can sell it, free up some cash. I've already put a 5-horse Honda on this one, and it's completely running. It works. Everything does what it's supposed to. I just need to take the pressure washer, clean it up, maybe touch up the paint. Out of the 3, I'm going to try to keep one because I do have a use for one every now and then, but I'm going to sell the other 2. And probably the one I'll keep will just have like a little Briggs 5-horse, flathead type engine on it. The 2 with the Hondas I'll sell. This one's a 160 and that's a 190, so I think a 5-horse and a 6-horse, or 5.5 or whatever they are. But we're going to go out here in the field real quick. And another project today, I'm going to try to get that carrier bearing out and get it replaced, see what all that's going to take, and then get this thing all put back together, because we're going to need that in about a week for our vacation. Let's leave that open. I'm coming back through anyways. So yeah, the little Vermeer, I'm hoping I can get it going and sell it. The compactors, or the little plate compactors, I know I can sell them. People are always wanting to buy them around here, especially because there's so many people that do concrete construction, landscaping. The landscapers, they use these a lot, so I won't have any problem getting rid of them. Here's the other 2. It's funny because I see these all the time, and the first thing that happens is the recoils break on them. Well, rather than just go buy one on eBay, they just wrap a rope around it. They continue to crank them, and I know why they break, because they pull them till the rope comes all the way out of the end of it, and eventually it just can't handle it. So, and I don't think between these 2 engines and the one I have over there, I don't think there's enough to make one complete running engine. So yeah, that one's rotted out. It probably got rain in it. Had the bolt off. They've had that one apart. This one, that one actually looks like the most complete, with the exception of the pull starter. Yeah, that one's got a hole in the air cleaner housing. This one's probably got water in the tank. They probably all have water in the tank, because I think all of them were, one of them was inside undercover. The other 2 were out in the rain. The one I have running already, and one of these, I can't remember. I want to say it was this one that was out in the rain, so it's probably full of water. But anyways, I've got the engines to spare to throw on them, so I'll get that done. I picked up this 4-wheel drive frame from a friend of mine, and I was gonna see about converting it into a 1-ton and put it under my dually over there, possibly convert it into a K30. I don't know. I got all these plans and I don't have the time. The Massey Ferguson is going bye-bye. I am done messing with this thing. I don't have the time it needs, as usual. The engine is, stuck. It's going to have to be pulled and rebuilt. And again, it's just not worth that to me. I can't rebuild the engine in that thing and sell it and come out ahead. So I'm going to try to at least get my money back out of it now, or maybe possibly trade for something that I can sell. Because to be honest, right now, that's the whole name of the game. This is what I've been doing for years, buying this old equipment, fixing it up, flip it, make some money. If it's something too far gone, I just try to get my money back out of it, let somebody else have it as a project. But I try to steer clear of farm tractors for that reason. They're just not worth nothing. Like this thing here, it was kind of a help a friend out deal. He bought it and was in way over his head. He's not into these tractors. He's more of a boat guy. Well, he didn't think to ask the guy to get all the other parts. It was missing like the fuel tank, the air cleaner assembly, which those two things are no big deal. Push rods, all 4 push rods are missing. So he didn't think to ask about none of that stuff, and of course I'm sure the guy's already thrown all that crap away. So here it sits. It needs wheels. They're rotted out. I'll probably never find them. And even if I was to spend all the money and buy wheels, tires, these are cracked, I'd probably leave them like that because they're expensive. But if I did all that, this thing's still maybe a $2,000, $2,500 tractor. Well, I think I'd get $500 for the tractor. I could easily have the rest of that in it plus labor, and I'd break even. I hate to give up on that one just because it is a diesel and it is 4-wheel drive. Now, I may eventually come across another one of these tractors that's got a better engine, even a 2-wheel drive one. And if I can get it cheap enough, then I'll buy it and use it for parts to get the 4-wheel drive one going. Then I'll just scrap the rest, at least make a little money back on scrap. I got to get time to tear this one down, get all the dually suspension off and the axle, and I still got AC parts to get off for my C30, and that stuff will hopefully fit on this frame and convert it into a K30, or I'll have the stuff to make K30. But I need to get back to what I originally did and buy construction equipment, because construction equipment will always sell unless it's just a straight up antique, and even that stuff will sell. It may take longer. This little Bobcat, I've got all the stuff to finish it up, and other than time, and it'll sell just for the fact that of what it is. 1, it's a Bobcat. 2, it's a skid steer, and 3, it's handy. I mean, people really look for these little things. They're sought after. So I've got to quit buying old tractors, because all they are is huge money pits. That little thing, I just need to get the engine out of it, because the engine runs like a top. The rest of the machine, it works, it runs and drives, but I'm probably just going to scrap it. The only thing I really need that I can use is the engine, and I could use it on any other kind of project. Lawnmowers and stuff, I try to steer clear of them now. I used to have, I bet I had 30 or 40 of the lawnmowers around here, but I was getting them for free, you know, or I'm going to say 99% of them I was getting for free. And they had old gas in them or something else, and just clean out the carburetors, put a battery on them, boom, you could sell them $500, $600, $400, whatever. That compressor over there, the compressor needs rings in it. I'm probably just going to scrap that, but the tank I'm going to probably use on my shop to add to my compressor, just so I have more air volume. That's another thing I probably won't get to till next summer. The 3-wheeler, that was my uncle's next door. He brought it over. He's like, I've been tinkering with it and I can't get it going. I know you can get it going. Just fix it up, sell it, and we'll flip it. But he's already taken apart the ignition switch and tried to hook up a toggle, and that's another thing. People do that. They'll tear stuff apart, and it's like you can buy literally the whole ignition with new keys for, and that was all stemmed because it didn't have a key. You can buy that whole assembly for little and nothing on eBay. So that's another winter, possibly next spring or summer project. This one I've already got it going, as you've seen in some of my other videos. I just need to finish it up, put it back together. I need to work on the one of the idler wheels on the deck was, yeah, that one's all bent. I need to straighten it up. It needs wiring. You know, I got to get it where you can start it with the key, shut it off with the key. I've got to get it to where the switch runs the deck. It doesn't work. which more than likely it just doesn't have power to it. It does shut off with the key. That actually turns the ignition on and off. It just doesn't start the machine, which you can see with all the different wiring the previous owner had in it. I got to straighten that mess out. But so yeah, I've got a lot of shit around here I need to get rid of. I've got one load of scrap already in my trailer. It's completely loaded down. I need to go take that. I may take that today, get rid of it, because I've already got another load to load up and take. But got a lot of projects, and right now I haven't had any free money because I haven't had anything that I could sell. I bought lots of little items here and there, the little BF Avery. That could turn into a huge money pit. And like I was saying earlier, it's just not worth it unless you find that one guy that needs it. So for me, it's easier just to yank the motor out, try to sell it on the marketplace. I don't know if somebody would need it for their tractor. If they did, great. If not, scrap iron. And then mount that little Kubota diesel in it, put it all back together, leave the tank on it, obviously for diesel, possibly leave the radiator, if I can make that radiator, if it's any good, if I can make that radiator work with it, that'd be great. And then put the hood and everything on it, and just it'll turn it into a little diesel tractor. Knock the cultivators off, and this will basically just be a little parade tractor, but then it'll be reliable. And it'd be something that I could actually use or sell. I've actually got somebody that wants it right now, if I can get it going, just for that. He wants to just drive it in parades. We have a peanut festival here in Aubrey every year, and he has a trailer rental business, so he does that, but he also is into the old tractors. So if I had a little diesel in it, this thing would be awesome. And it would really be awesome if I could get the PTO freed up where you could actually use it to pull a little drag type shredder or something, who knows. But anyways, that was kind of what this video was about today. It's just more or less an update video. I know I haven't posted anything in a long time because I've been really busy with jobs that have been taking up all my time. Where here a couple of months ago, I had a bunch of jobs, but they were little jobs, and with the heat, I'd work half a day, I'd come home and work half a day, and hang on, the screen's got dust on it. And I was actually making pretty good money, and not good money, but better money, because I was flipping stuff all the time. And now that I'm just doing my welding and my fence jobs, I'm not making near as much money. I am, but it's taking longer to get it because I get the deposit, then I work on the job, and then when it's done, I finally get the remainder. So there's long pauses in between paychecks. Where these, I'd bring them home, and if y'all are anything like me, as soon as you get something in, you want to start tearing it apart and getting it running. That was like this thing. I mean, I brought it in, I put it in the shop yesterday, and literally took the cover off and started tinkering with the motor and seeing what all that was going to entail. So I'd get something in, I'd hurry up and get it going and flip it. And I just haven't been able to do that in a while. But we'll get there. I've got one more day on this job I'm on right now. I've got to build a little double gate setup. It's an 8-foot opening, but he wants 2 little 4-foot gates that latch in the middle. So what I'll do is I'll build an 8-foot gate. I'll have double pipes in the middle. When I'm done, I'll just cut it in half and boom, done. It's faster than trying to build 2 individual 8-foot gates. So Monday or possibly Tuesday, I'll go out to the job and finish that. Then I can get paid for that, and then move on to the next project. I've got a couple of buildings to put up for him. But hopefully in between there, I can start getting some of these projects out. Like this thing, it won't take long to yank the motor out. And I don't know if anybody's going to want this. I mean, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 studs broke off in it, which those would be fairly easy to get out, but it's just one of them things that's probably not really worth a whole lot. I mean, I'd probably, if somebody needed, I'd be like, you know, 50 or $100. And I don't know if that's expensive or cheap or what, but sad thing is I bought a brand spanking new 6-volt battery for it, and I don't have nothing else on the property that's 6 volts anymore. But it'll get used somewhere. But anyhow, guys, with that, I'm gonna let you go. At least I'll have this video to upload, and hopefully later on today I'll have some more content. I don't know necessarily if I'm gonna video the carrier bearing install on that, because there's a million videos on them on the internet right now, YouTube, and that one's, luckily it's already had the 2-piece carrier bearing put in, so that nightmare is already taken care of. But it's still not going to be easy to get the old bearing off and the new one on without messing something up. But it'll probably still be quicker than putting all the plastic floorboards and covers and side panels back on. There's a lot of stuff you got to do to get it to where it's at right now, plus the skid plates and stuff on the bottom. I really wish I had some steel skid plates to put on it, since I'm already at this point, because when you look at these things, the floorboard is plastic, the skid plate's plastic. If you ran over a T-post or something, it's coming right through and getting you. I mean, there's not much protection on them. Now, granted, you shouldn't be driving over fences, but you go off-roading with these things and you never know what you're going to run across. It could be an old fence buried somewhere. You hit that and it could be disastrous. Somebody's going to the hospital. So, anyhow, guys, looks like I'm going to have my job cut out for me on this thing. I'm not worried about it, because I'm pretty sure I can get the engine running. The hydraulics, they're pretty, you know, straightforward. They're either going to work or they ain't. I do have a hydraulic leak on the back, front, whatever you want to call it, back here, but it's leaking from the top down, so I'm sure it's either a valve or a hose. And with all the junk and trash you see in there, it doesn't surprise me. These handles, I had, this one was actually on it, but it was barely there, and as soon as I tried to bend it back, it just snapped off. So what they did is they come up and curved in, and you had 2 handles. You could drive it like a skid steer. So I may contact Vermeer and see if they offer these. I'm sure they still do. If not, I could probably fabricate them pretty easily. They're just a flat bar comes up and then had a piece of round pipe or round stock welded to it. And I did run the valve. You can see that one works. This one doesn't have enough left on it it needs a bolt up here. I may throw a pin in it later and see if I could run that valve. But that was what he was saying. It ran and drove, but just one side wouldn't steer. So should be pretty easy to get this going. It's going to be easy, it's just going to be time consuming. It's going to have a muffler. Again, no big deal. I can go buy a lawnmower muffler, cut this off and weld it on. That'll be fixed. Starter solenoid. I'll just have to Google the engine and the serial number. Thankfully that plate's still on there, and see if I can find a solenoid for it. If not, and guess what? That one's going to the shop too. And that's if the starter even turns over. I need to test that. So I'll be pulling that off soon and messing with that. But for today, the priorities is getting the Polaris going, try to get the other plate compactors going, or at least one of them, get them listed. I need to get them pressure washed, cleaned up. I'll do that also today. The Massey Ferguson, I have it on the marketplace right now for sale. Just like I said, trying to get my money back out of it. I'm not going to have time. That's way too big a project for the amount of time I have left to work on stuff. And I don't want to see it sitting here for a year or two like some of this other stuff. I need to clean up around here big time, especially in this shop, because I can barely move around in here. I need to pick up all my tools again. But, and I've already lost my train of thought. That's how my days go. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Try to get this video uploaded later on today. Try to get as much done as I can before the weather turns out even worse. I don't think we got a chance of rain, but you never know. But, oh, I know what I was going to say. The Massey Ferguson. I've had a lot of interest in it. You know, guys asking, is it still available? And I know people, I hate it when they don't ask that. Well, it's kind of aggravating, yeah, when you get that generic, is it still available? But I've also made a lot of sales like that just by simply answering yes. I mean, this doesn't take that long to answer yes, it's still available. And a lot of times they'll comment back, okay, when can I come look at it? Well, I've had several people want to come look at it. I gave them my cell number to contact me. I had a guy this morning texted me, wanted to know if I was interested in doing any kind of bartering. I'm like, yeah, I'm always looking for that, especially if it's something smaller that, you know, I could work with. I said, what do you got? He sent me a message back, a bunch of cats. Really? I said, unless it's a steel yellow type, I'm not interested. One, cats don't last long around here. We're kind of in the country and there's a whole lot of coyotes around here. And I bet I can count the amount of cats I've seen in 10 years on one hand. And I've only seen them once. Strays. So, yeah, cats don't last long around here unless it's a house cat, and we are definitely not having a house cat. So, anyhow, guys, as always, I appreciate you watching the video. I'm going to try to actually make another video later on today. I don't know what it's going to be about. Keep an eye on my channel. I apologize for not posting a video in a while, but you know how it is. When you work, you got to work. Got to make that money and pay them bills. But like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. You guys that are already subscribed, as always, I appreciate it a bunch, because I know y'all are already getting me to the goal I'm trying to get to. So we will talk to you guys later.